Lucy Owen with you on BBC Radio Wales, and with me now is one of the members of that iconic pop band. They're known worldwide for their music and their moves, of course, but Steps superstar Claire Richards is stepping out on a solo concert tour this month, and she's bringing some of the greatest disco tunes of all time to the Wales Millennium Centre in Cardiff. It's called Everybody Dance, and I'm so delighted to have Claire with me now. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
This sounds like so much fun. I feel like I should be having my sequins on, my dancing shoes. You must be really looking forward to hitting the road with this show.
Absolutely. And you're so right. It's all about the sequins and it's all about the dancing shoes and bringing along your biggest, best singing voice as well. I think it's the kind of show that's hopefully just going to get everybody up on their feet and just let their hair down and have a really, really good time.
Oh, this sounds like my cup of tea. Dancing and singing along. It does sound like the ultimate disco party.
Yeah, I think it is actually. And it's, visually, it's going to be a feast for the eyes as well. There's lots going on. It's not just me. There's, that we've got some great dancers. We've got fire performers. There's just all sorts. And just singing some of the most well-known and best songs, like you said, of all time. It's, you can't really go wrong with that kind of combination. I think that the kind of songs that we're doing are the ones that always get you singing along when they come on the radio, or if you're at a party and the DJ starts playing them. So hopefully there'll be something for everybody in there.
Everyone is going to be a banger by the sounds of things. And you are spanning the decades, aren't you? You've got everything from Donna Summer to Dua Lipa. I mean, you obviously have a real passion for disco. What is it about disco that you love?
What's not to love, really?
Yeah, I agree.
and a lot of our steps roots have been in disco as well, with Stomp, and I don't know, it just fits so well within that pop world, doesn't it? And there's so many influences that have come from disco over the years, even in modern pop music, really. It's not, there's a lot that you hear that's not classic disco like you would think of from, Studio 54 and the Donna Summer and all that kind of stuff. But there are influences throughout music, and there have been throughout the decades. So that's what this show is trying to represent. So, we start in the 70s and come right up to date. So there should be something for everybody. It's really exciting. It's a really exciting show.
It must be really great to be able to show off your vocals as well, because you have an incredible voice, Claire. Whenever you're listening to a Steps track, I always know when you're coming in. You really can hit those notes and belt out those tunes. And you're doing some really huge songs, aren't you? Like I Will Survive, Could It Be Magic,
Yeah.
What a Feeling. So how did you choose which songs to include in the show? Did you pick ones that you've always loved growing up?
Yeah, the foghorn Kate likes to call me. That's what he always says. The foghorn started. Yeah, we kind of, it was a collaborative choice. I mean, there's songs in there that I have sung for years. I'll be doing No More Tears, which was on my album last year. And there's a couple of Step songs, not many, but there's a couple in there that fit the genre. And yeah, we tried to pick songs that hopefully the audience would absolutely love, and songs that I am comfortable singing as well. As much as I'd like to think I can sing anything, I can't. And then we had little themes within the theme. So there's little pockets of themes. So there might be some from movies or a certain decade, or a kind of, we've taken one of the sections that's been influenced by the TV show Pose. So that's kind of how we narrowed it down, because obviously there are so many that we could have chosen.
Yeah, I bet. It must be really tough. I love the sound of those little sections. And for the record, you are way more tuneful than a foghorn, Claire. We'll have a word with him, OK?
Yeah, can you tell him? You tell him.
We will, don't you worry. So do you really enjoy being up there on the stage? Because, with Steps, you've done 11 sold-out national arena tours, haven't you? Really, really big stuff, performed all over the world. I mean, do you love being up on that stage? Or is it going to be strange sort of being there? I know you're not on your own up there, but without the band members around you.
I mean, I've been doing solo stuff for a few years now, and at first it was very strange. And sometimes I do kind of struggle not having the others around me, but just simply in the moments where you're not singing, I drink a lot of water during a show when I'm singing. And in the very beginning, I kind of forgot that I couldn't just do that. I had to keep talking to the audience. So I think within this show, it's a lot more structured. It's a bit more like a step show in the sense that it's, from the minute we start to when we finish, it's quite structured. So there will be the moments for all of that. So I feel like this will be much more like a step show. So hopefully I won't feel the void too much. But sometimes when I'm doing my kind of little solo gigs, I do kind of think, oh God, where's H when you need him to fill the gap with talking nonsense?
Yes, you can always chat away. He can always chat away, can't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And with all those dance moves to remember, I know that you've described it as a little bit like Strictly, haven't you? But you've never been on Strictly, and Faye from the band got to the final a few years back. Have you ever been tempted?
I don't know. I mean, I don't consider myself to be a dancer. So the thought of learning a dance routine does normally fill me with a bit of panic. My past record doesn't bode very well for dancing with a partner. When we did it for It's the Way You Make Me Feel, I was so rubbish that in the end, we swapped partners quite a few times with the dancers and things. And most of the time, I think I was partnered with Lee and a couple of the others, and they would just pick me up and plonk me where I needed to be because I couldn't get the steps right.
Do you know what? The Way You Make Me Feel is one of my favourite Steps songs. And in fact, Steps Gold was the first album that I bought on CD for my husband when we started dating, because that was kind of like our track when we first got together. So Steps Gold was the first CD that I gave him as a gift.
Wow. There you go. And you're still together.
We're still together. We're still together. So it must be a lot of fun, to sing live on stage, and you're going to be singing I Will Survive. So that could be the slogan for Steps, couldn't it? Because you've had all that success in the 90s, a lot of hard work, band breakup, then the much loved reunion. Are you amazed that you've all survived and you're still together doing it?
Absolutely. I don't think anybody, when they first heard 5, 6, 7, 8, could have predicted that 27 years later we would still be doing it. We'd still be releasing new music, performing on tour. We're about to open a musical with our music in it, and it is beyond belief. It's beyond my wildest dreams, I think. But we don't take it for granted. I think that's what it helps us do. We've hopefully stayed grounded, and we don't take it for granted. Every time we do something new, we don't expect anything from it. We hope that it's what the fans enjoy and what the fans want, and it's very much about that these days. I think in the early days, as much as we didn't have much control, but we just all wanted to be so cool so bad, and we weren't. But now we don't care so much about that, and we just care about what the fans want. So I think hopefully as long as we keep doing that, it means that they'll still want us around. So yeah, but it is quite amazing that we are still doing it.
It must have been quite tough in the 90s. You're talking about that whole cool factor, because you had the likes of Oasis, didn't you, at that time, and Blur, and there was, everyone was in like one camp or another.
I never wanted to be that kind of cool. I was never a fan of that kind of music. I wanted to be an All Saints, really. That's the kind of cool that I wanted to be. And sometimes it was when we would kind of rock up at TV shows and things, and everybody else was in their, khaki colours, and we turned up in bright yellow. It was a bit kind of, oh God, I just want to look like that. But I'm so glad we did that now, because it made us. We were unique. There wasn't anybody else like us, and I still don't think there is. And I kind of think not being cool has meant that we have been able to stay the distance, I think, because we weren't necessarily, even though the music was very much of its time because of the kind of pop that it was and that it is, we were kind of timeless in a way, because we didn't tie ourselves to that era, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yes, and you were always cool for me, just for the record, and still are, Claire. So what is the latest with Steps? Because you guys have been a little bit quiet since the 25th anniversary in 2022. Any news on anything that you've got planned?
Nothing specific. We decided that we were going to take a little break because we released 4 albums over the space of about 5 years, I think, from 2017 until 2022. The Platinum Collection went to #1, which was amazing. So we decided we're going to have a little break and concentrate on the musical, which is opening in November in Birmingham. And
this is exciting, Claire. What can you tell us about that? Here and Now, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it feels massive. It feels like one of the biggest things we've ever done. It's something we've been talking about and trying to get up and running for a long time, for years actually. And finally it's happening, and it's a standalone story. It's not about us. We are not in it. It's a story about 4 friends that kind of embark on this little summer of love, if you like, and one friend challenges the other friends to find love and to kind of concentrate on themselves, I suppose, for a period of time. And it's just really fun. It's really heartfelt. It's really heartwarming. It is funny. It's really hard to be objective. We've seen workshops and stuff, and they're about to start to go in rehearsals next week, I think. And it's really hard to watch it and be objective, and kind of, I think it's really good. We all think it's really good. It made us cry. It made us laugh. The songs sound incredible when they're sung by an ensemble and the cast. And it's so exciting. I can't wait for everybody to see it. I think people are going to love it.
Oh, it sounds absolutely amazing. I'm sure that's going to be a huge, huge hit. Move over, Mamma Mia. The Steps musical is coming to town. I need to mention as well, of course, H, as we've been chatting about him, one of your bandmates. He's on Radio Wales every Friday night. He lives around the corner from me, actually. I see a lot of him. He's just such a great guy, isn't he? You know, amazing dad, amazing broadcaster, amazing performer. And have you been down to visit him much in Wales?
Do you know what? I haven't at all. I think, obviously, we're coming to Cardiff on the 15th of October. So I'm hoping that he's going to come and see the show. So I'll get to spend a bit of time with him then. But no, I haven't. Since he's moved to Wales, I haven't been up to see him. I keep saying that I'm going to, but my kids are a bit older now. So it's difficult to get them to go anywhere with me.
Oh, I know that feeling. My son doesn't want to be anywhere near me. But look, you're coming to the Wales Millennium Centre, so that's a great excuse for him to come and see you and for you to enjoy hanging out with him in Wales. We would love to see you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited. We did, unfortunately, the Steps tour, on the last arena tour, we had to cancel our Cardiff show because of the dreaded COVID. So this will be my first time there since I was meant to be there in 2021. So I'm very looking forward to seeing a Welsh audience up on their feet and singing along.
Oh, well, listen, Welsh audiences know how to party, so you're in for a treat, I think. Listen, Claire, it's so fantastic to talk to you. Enjoy coming to Cardiff. Can't wait to see the musical, and I know it's going to be a huge smash, as is Everybody Dance. Claire, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Everybody Dance with Claire Richards is at the Wales Millennium Centre in Cardiff on the 15th of October.